It'd actually probably help if I open my mic. Hello, everyone. Soul Commodore back at you again with some more art streaming, some more live drawing today. Again, we are working on this piece that we were working on last week. Yeah. So we haven't seen this piece for a while because the last time we worked on it was Tuesday. But this is what we're going to be working on today, just filling in some more charcoal. So right now what I'm doing is I am just on my second screen here, bringing up the photo that I was using as a reference, just to grab that again. Let's see, that was in this folder. Just gonna scroll down to it. There it is. And open it up. Why it's opening on this screen. I'll drag that over here. Copy. And we will paste it into Photoscape, where I can turn it to black and white. And that'll give me a good reference for actual drawings of Soul Time. Hey, Al, welcome on in. How are you? Yeah, sorry the stream's getting off a little later than it usually does. I made the mistake of updating OBS, and in updating OBS, it completely got rid of my iPhone camera app. So I had to re-download that. I found that out at about six o'clock that it wasn't connecting anymore, and I was like, "Oh, why is that?" So, but hey, what are you gonna do? But welcome in. I hope you're having a good Monday so far. And also, to any of you who might be, yeah, it is a pain. It is a pain, but what are you gonna do, right? I just want to put this in here really quick. Because today, for any of you who are Canadian, today is National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, which is colloquially known as Orange Shirt Day. As you see, I don't have any orange clothing, which is unfortunate. But basically, what that is, it's a day to recognize all sorts of atrocities that have been committed against Indigenous people, particularly the children who are victims of residential schools. That's kind of how everything's kind of kicked off, and that is today. So I just wanted to mention that because that's what today is in Canada. It's a federal holiday. It's not a provincial holiday, so some provinces recognize it. I think all of them recognize it. All the provinces and territories do, but I don't know that it gives everybody a day off. But it's supposed to be a day where we kind of reflect and educate ourselves on Indigenous people, Indigenous cultures, and the things that were done to them. So yeah, it's a day for reflection. But yeah, and I think next year I'm gonna make sure that I actually go get an orange shirt because I don't have one. We're sorry about the genocide. What? Yes, of course you still have to work. Yeah. So actually, one of my hey Rain, thank you for the glug. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I do know that one of my nieces last year was on kind of a school committee that was in charge of doing programming for their school's Day of Truth and Reconciliation. So that was really cool to learn that she was part of that. Because it's important. It's very important. Ordinarily, I would have like a command and some links up, but I've been y'all caught me slipping. So I didn't have a chance to get that set up today. But I'll probably do it for all the streams. Like, even though like today is the holiday, I'll have some links up and everything for tomorrow's stream and the streams after that. Um, and we'll make it kind of a week long thing. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Rain. I hope you're feeling a little bit better now. And if not, I hope you feel better soon. I have to make dinner, so you're going on my phone. Hey, no problem, no problem. I hope you have a good dinner. Hope it's tasty, and thanks for coming on in and saying hello. It's always a pleasure to see y'all. Probably sound like a broken record, but anytime that y'all decide to spend your time here with me, because you could be doing anything else, and instead you choose to spend your time with us over here, so it makes me feel good. All right, so now we're gonna fill in here. Got some shadows on this leg. Make sure we don't mess up all the work we already did. The infinite eyes orb. the old-fashioned emoji. Gastrointestinal distress was not fun. Woke me up 2 hours before work. Couldn't go back to sleep. Spent the entire time double in pain. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds like a really rough time. So, like, if you feel like you need to bow out of, like, sticking around here, please feel free to make sure you take care of yourself. Certainly a shitty time. Well, I'm glad you still have your sense of humor about it. All right. How do you turn off censoring on mobile? That's a good question. I'm not sure why it would be censoring. I certainly don't have any sensors up that I can remember. The pain went away as soon as I clocked in. The lack of sleep is what woke me up during work. I see. I cannot live in the hell. Well, I just hope that the pain doesn't come back tonight or tomorrow again. Rain. You can have a bit of an easier time tomorrow. Thank you for the Prime subscription. I appreciate that. You didn't have to do that. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Hope you're having a good day. Also, Fish Bath is a fun name. I like that username. Always lurking when you can. Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for the subscription. As far as that goes too, in case you're lurking in here, I noticed a few days ago a cat named Zephyr, which is another great username. Y'all got good usernames, man. Thank you very much for the follow. That is also very much appreciated. So, thank you, y'all. Let's see. Let me see if I can see what's going on here. Why is Twitch mobile censoring? How do I turn off not safe for work chat filter on mobile? Oh, it looks like it's in the chat settings rather than account settings. And there's an enable chat filter option that you can turn off, apparently. I don't know how up to date that information is, but hopefully that works. Oh, it should be stated. I guess I should let everyone know that I'm starting a new job this week on Thursday, in fact. I will be going back to an admin role. So basically, what I have been doing is I've been an adjudicated claims officer, which basically means that with the Refugee Board of Canada, Immigration and Refugee Board, which basically means that like I would triage incoming refugee claims and send them where they need to go, whether it was like a complex claim or a simpler claim. An example of a simpler claim is someone is gay and they're trying to escape a country in which they will be put to death because they're gay. If they have all the documentation and basically, everything matches up, that's really easy. It's like, yes, you're a refugee. So that's what I've been doing for the past little bit. And unfortunately, because of the powers that be, I couldn't be extended in that role. So what they're going to do to try and buy me some time so that they can extend me is I will be working still with the Immigration Refugee Board, but in an administrative role, because that will buy me a couple of months for them to go in and see if they can like convince the powers that be that they need to keep me. So we'll see what happens. If not, I mean, at the very least, I'll still be employed because I'll just have to go back to my old job, which was doing admin work. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I start the new job on Thursday. Okay, so I think this woman is done. I'm fairly satisfied with that. Yeah, it is good news. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who are struggling to find work, who are struggling to find employment. So I'm just very lucky and thankful that I'm not in that boat. I'm still going to thankfully have a job, but yeah, it's a little bit sad because like I really like my team and I finally feel like I got. Like I know what I'm doing in the role, because that takes some time to get used to, and I felt like I was finally starting to get it, and then it was like, oh, no. But hey, that's how life goes sometimes. Just kind of gotta roll with the punches, you know. Right now, I'm just like drawing in some landmarks. Hey, retro homebrew, or should I say, don't eat the squid. Welcome on in. How are you? How are you? You know what? I should do some. Hold on. I'm gonna take a minute here. I gotta give some shout outs. So first up, shouting out Lyrian. If y'all want some really fantastic art, digital art, and I've seen L playing some games too, like I think it was a Phoenix Wright spinoff or something like that. Maybe? Hey, thank you. It's good to see you too. You should all check out L. Extremely skilled artist. Real fun, real fun chat stuff. Unfortunately, because of like work and stuff, I haven't been able to be in these streams. But I think you can still throw a bear at him. But you know, shout outs to L. Good friend of the channel. Good person. Just a fantastic watch. And I want to give a shout out to Rain as well, who's been playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Nice. Rain is also a good friend of the channel. Always make sure that I stay hydrated, which is very much appreciated. And just a good person again. I like that emo. Good person, good friend of the channel, and a really solid watch. Like whenever I get the chance to hop into Rain's streams, it's always a good time. Don't lie to the nice people about me. I will not lie, because I'm not lying. And I gotta give a shout out to Retro Homebrew, which you all might know as hey Mio, welcome in. How are you? Retro Homebrew, you might all know, have seen it here as Don't Eat the Squid. I just caught one of his streams just last night for the first time in a very long time, and it was a lot of fun. I'm very good. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing all right. But yeah, I was playing some Commodore 64 games, and that was really fun. And like talking about like some of the functions of them and all that. Listen to some old chip tunes as well. Just a really fun watch. He's also a writer, so you know, got that art connection as well. And you know what? I'm giving shout outs to everyone. Fish Bath, I don't even know if you stream, but there's a shout out to you too for being so kind as to you know, be lurking in here and commenting once again and subscribing. Thank you very much for that. Once again. And let's see. Is this gonna time me out? I hope it doesn't time me out. I'll just wait till this goes. But no, I appreciate all y'all who come in here and watch me do what I do. Just act a fool on stream. I really do appreciate it. And I want to give a shout out to Mio too, who was working on some is it Reka or Reka? But yeah, shout outs to Mio as well, who I met through L actually. I met through Lyrian. So very cool person. All y'all are cool people. I appreciate that. I can't state enough how glad I am that I have the community that I do. I see. That's right. You do art. You do art. You just showed your D&D party the poster I made for. Oh, very nice. That's cool. Very cool. But yeah, yeah. I'm just very thankful that. Oh yes, please feel free to put that in the chat. I will check it out. Um, Very glad that I have the community on here that I do, um, and that you all are what make that up. You know, it's an amazing piece. Oh, I don't doubt it. So I'm looking forward to seeing it. All right, let me just do this handle real quick, and then I'll click on that. See what we got cooking. All right, let's see. Yo, look at that. Oh, that's dope. Man, I wish I had my screen share thing set up. I still have to set that up again. Um, because I did show you all my video promo for the show that was coming up, and then that screen broke on me, and I have to set it up again. Because I would show, well, I don't know, maybe because I reset it and updated, maybe it'll work. But for those of you who can't click the link, hopefully this works. Actually, Mio, I should ask, do you mind if I show everybody on the screen? Hey, Nat, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. And I hope you don't mind. Okay, cool. I hope you're able to get those things done. But hello, hello. I always feel like somebody's watching me. All right, let's see if this art chat thing will work. It will work. Oh, it did. Oh, okay. It's a little off center. But that's, man, oh man. That's so cool. Let me see if I can get this to. Actually, I know how to do it. Oh, that's not the. Let me see if I can bring the screen over some. There we go. That's how you do it. Man, look at that. That is super cool. Very well done. Very well done. I color me impressed. That's a lot of work, especially all the stuff going on in the mouth in the center there, like all of like the what we'll call it, like spit and stuff, spittle, drool, all the water coming out. That's fantastic piece. Very well done. Awesome job, Mio. See, y'all should you really focus on the mouth. I can see, yeah, yeah. Not to say that anything else is lacking, but that detail is so good, so very good. Oh, that is a tremendous amount of work. Zoom in on some parts here. That's a dope looking mask. And all these leaves and stuff too, like this is tremendous. We definitely stand other people's work here, so by all means, if you all have any artistic endeavors and you want to show them in chat, please feel free to. Look at those eyes. Man, oh man. Flying up there. Fantastic work, Mio. I'm very impressed. You have it in real life. Nice. So for those of you who are just coming in, this is a piece that is going to be part of a show that I'm doing. Is going to excuse me. Basically, it's all about not feeling like you are yourself, or the different ways that we change ourselves depending on the company we keep, and kind of feeling like not knowing who we are, all that kind of stuff. So these are just a snippet of the stuff that I've got going on for this show, that I'm preparing for this show. There's no confirmed date or time that I'm actually going to be able to showcase it, but I've decided to get all the stuff ready ahead of time, much like we were doing with the tracking series. That way, like, once it gets accepted into a gallery, I have everything ready to go, rather than trying to do everything afterwards. And actually, now that I know that my screen share works, it's a really good braid. I'm jealous. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope y'all don't mind, but I want to show something that I'm really, really proud of with what I've been doing with because I'm also planning on doing a video with this new collection of work. And I've got kind of like a promo video that unfortunately I don't think I can make full screen, but I do kind of want to show it off, which might be a little self-indulgent with me, but see, the unfortunate thing is it's on Instagram, so like I can't like just have the video separate. But I'll see if I can pull that up. If my internet would cooperate, that'd be great. Thank you. Goodness gracious. Go to my art one, actually. There we go. Self-indulge. And the shirt pattern's really sick. Oh, thank you. That one, that took ages. The last stream we did, that took forever. Let me get this set up, and then I'll show the video, and then I'm gonna say goodbye to my wife real quick because she's got to run somewhere. Pause this music. Okay, art chat. Let's see if this will work. Okay, yeah, it's a little off center, but hopefully you can see that. Let's get back over here, and then I'll turn the music back on. But yeah, so that's a little snippet of what the video will entail. It's actually going to be a lot of different stories of a lot of different narratives with actual voiceovers of times in one's life where they might wish that they were anybody but themselves. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. But yeah, it's going to be a collection of actual, like, true stories of times where the person wished that they were anybody but themselves. So yeah, it should be good. And the different feelings that go along with that, like, you know. So yeah. It's going to be really exciting for me too, because I've never really done a video before, like a video project, outside of like school. So I'm very much looking forward to that aspect of it. I put this zipper in the wrong spot. Because of course I did. It's really nice. I got one of my wife's cousins, a good friend of both of ours, and my sister is going to be doing voiceovers as well as me. It was really funny. I was telling my sister about the project and what it entailed, and she was like, "Ooh, that sounds depressing." I was like, "Well, I mean, there's going to be funny stories in there too." But there are going to be some sad ones, and I'm handling the saddest of them, I think. But yeah, no, there's some funny ones in there too. Actually, yeah, there wouldn't be a zipper here because it's zipped up. So okay, there we go. I think now we can start with the actual charcoal. Also, y'all, let me know how the audio levels are. I know if there was something off, you would have let me know already, but please feel free at any time. Just let me know how things are going, like the music level, my voice level, because I'm never sure how it sounds. Because I do all sorts of tests before the stream starts, and then the stream starts, and like what happened yesterday. I start the stream and there's just no sound whatsoever. Always very impactful art. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You have to lurk for now, but have a good stream. Oh, thank you very much, Mio. Hey, no problem. No problem. It is my pleasure. Thank you for indulging me with all the stuff I do. Oh, before you go. I'm shivering with anticipation. Your sound is fine enough. I can hear you and the music fine, but the music is slightly above your voice volume-wise. Oh, okay. Let me fix that. Thank you. Thank you. How is this? Is this better? Hopefully that's a little bit better. That's nice? Okay, good, good. Thank you, Mio. I appreciate it. And of course, because you're lurking, I always feel like somebody's watching me. That was a little pitchy, but I think you got the gist of it. Thank you for coming in, and thank you for sharing your work with us. Your fantastic work with us. It was a very nice treat. The whole stream is quiet. I actually came in here and typed that out. So yeah, put your voice touching the red on the OBS volume mixer. Oh, okay. So like well, now it's in the yellow. Oh snap. That's so clear. Oh, okay. Good. No problem, Mel. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let me try it there. Now, how is the music in behind? Hopefully that's not See, what I think it is I have the computer a little bit closer to me when I do the why is my webcam frozen? There we go. Um I think what it is because my when I do like the gaming streams, I have my laptop closer to me, and I always feel like I'm peaking the mic. So I turn it down, and then I don't account for this change of distance. This will all change once I get like actual like streaming stuff, like an actual webcam and an actual like mic. But thank you, Al. I appreciate it. And then hopefully the music in the background is still good, unless I need to turn that up too. Yeah, I guess I just never know if I'm being too loud and blowing everybody's ears off. Oh, the New Balance seems good. Okay, good, good. The things you learn when you come off of a hiatus, you know. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I had everything really well set up before I got this new laptop. Like my old laptop, everything was working great, and then I had to change laptops because the old one just stopped working, and now everything's a guess. So I really appreciate all y'all letting me know um, how things are sounding. Oh, good. My wife made it to her physio appointment. No problem. We can always turn you down, but there's a limit to how loud we can make it. Ah, that's a good point. That is a good point. That's akin to the same argument I make about having it cold as opposed to hot. Because if you're cold, you can always layer up, but if you're hot, there's only so much you can take off. At least that's the argument I use for why I much prefer being cold than being warm. Because you can only take so much off, and then they slap an indecent exposure charge on you. Hey, no problem, no problem. Now, here's a question for you: would you rather me like call you retro or homebrew or squid? Because I know you were squid. Um, let me know what you would rather me call you. But no, it was great to see it. At first, I didn't realize. I think you might have mentioned it, but I didn't realize it was you at first. And then I popped in the stream because I was like, "Who's this person?" And then I saw like, "Don't eat the squid has started." Like it was like a little prompt in the chat, and I was like, "Oh, well, let me stick around." No, it was a delightful stream to participate in, and I got a good amount of work done while I was listening to. Cold hurts. Ah, that's fair. That's fair. My wife would agree. So for her, I keep the house a little bit warmer than than I probably would otherwise. You know, because that's what you do for love. But I've always really loved it when it's cold. Just the way that I'm built, I guess. But I know that's not everyone. Both are fine. I still use Squid as my name, but intended for the new name to be the channel's name to reflect what I stream. Ah, fair. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah, I love the cold too. I blame one of my aunts for that actually, because she would always take us like tobogganing and stuff, and I fell in love with the cold and the snow and all that. Plus, I grew up in a house that didn't have central air. Like we just had like your regular old air conditioners, and I know there's plenty of places that don't even have air conditioners. You know, so you just kind of have to suffer through that. But I remember I would always finish a workout or something and then just plop myself in front of an air conditioner and hope to cool down. But our house, the upstairs in our house, um, used to be one big room before we moved in. It was one big room, and then the previous owners split that one big room into three tiny little bedrooms, which meant that the only furnace register upstairs, like the only vent, was in the hallway, and the only window that you could possibly put an air conditioner in to cool down any of the rooms uh, was in the hallway as well, um, which meant that it got really cold up there in our respective bedrooms during the winter and really really warm during the summer. Like basically, if you wanted your room to be cool when 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 you went to bed during the summer, you basically had to leave your door open all day and hope that the like the air from the air conditioner actually went in your room. So I think that probably colors my temperature preferences as well, because I was a very warm child and teenager and young adult because I was 24. No, no, I was 26 when I like moved out of that house. Like I moved out for school when I was 18 and then moved back after school was finished. But my mom didn't like the cold because my mom had um, all sorts of like she had a Raynaud's syndrome, so like her even on a hot day, like her fingertips, because it's a circulation issue, uh, would like like her hands were always freezing, and like sometimes like her fingertips would get like freezing, like the skin would blanch because there was just no blood flow, and it's the same thing that happens if your hands are like super super cold. So she actually didn't mind that it was also warmer, which that's fair enough. If you don't like the cold or like you have uh, conditions that are exacerbated by the cold, I totally understand why you would prefer things to be warmer. Oh, that's what you have. Okay, fair, fair. Yeah. And I certainly do not begrudge anybody who prefers things to be warmer for any reason. We all have our preferences. It's done this backpack. But yeah, for a lot of people, the cold does hurt, and I understand that. Which is I am also mindful too of stuff like that. So like I don't keep it super cold in here because both my wife like doesn't like it to be super cold because it's just uncomfortable for her, and just in case anybody comes over that has you know that kind of thing. But man, if I lived alone and I had no company and had nobody coming over and all that, be like be like the tundra up in here. Of course, my electricity bill would be through the roof. Wifey and cat like the heat I usually lose. Fair, fair. But yeah, it was one of my aunts, who it's funny. I really, in my adult life, I've really switched to saying aunts instead of aunts because I grew up saying aunt, but now as an adult, I find myself saying aunt a lot more. It just sounds better to me. Um, but one of my aunts always took us out tobogganing and like because she's one of the she loves Christmas, she loves the winter, she loves the cold and all that. Consequently, winter is my favorite season, and I think a big reason why too is because my seasonal allergies finally like cooled down in the fall and winter. So I'm biased. Oh, you say aunt? You find most people say aunt. Well, uh, through my wife, um, just hearing how she calls her aunts and uncles, because like my wife, part of her family is French Canadian, the other part of her family is Dutch Canadian. Um, so like aunt, it makes sense why it makes sense why we say aunt, but it also makes sense why we say aunt because um, on her French Canadian side, the French word for aunt is ma tante, and the Dutch word for aunt is tante. So it's like, oh, okay, that I see why now. It's a fucking you in it. There is one of those. There's a lot more detail than I was expecting to put into this backpack, but that's how it goes sometimes. But yes, Elle, you make a very good point that there is a U in aunt, so it would make some more sense to say aunt, pronounce it that way. Speaking of, there's a really good pizza place near us called Auntie's Recipe. They do all sorts of different foods in there, but their best specialty is pizza. Man, is it good! We haven't ordered there in a while. We should order from there again. There's also a really good Chinese food place. We're lucky that we've got some really good restaurants around us. My I remember my apartment that I had before my wife and I moved in together. There weren't really any good restaurants around. Like there were some, I guess, but they weren't super great. It's backpacks coming together. There we go. Now there is still that strap up there, but that's fine. Get to that in a second. Speaking of words, I always get one of my aunts goats, the same one who like loves winter. She hates it when people say axe instead of ask. So to just kind of like get her goat every once and again, I say, hey yo, let me ask you a question. Because a lot of people think it makes someone sound like um, uneducated or whatnot, but it turns out that it was for a very long time an accepted pronunciation and spelling of the word ask. Um, and it was amongst like Europeans, like British settlers that would say it. And of course, because it gets tied up with a lot of like like again the what's the word I'm looking for, the stereotype that like black people are uneducated because they say stuff like axe and stuff. Well, it's it's a pronunciation that was passed down through generations, and a lot of the origins of that are from European settlers who brought over owned slaves, and they, because it was an accepted spelling and pronunciation, they were the ones that would say axe. And of course, a lot of slaves could not speak English, so if they learned English, a lot of times they learned it from that, from their uh, from the people who illegally owned them, and then it got passed down from there. So it always kind of bugs me when it's like, oh man, it sounds so uneducated. And it's like, well, go talk to the people who were talking like that in the 16, 17, and 1800s. When it comes to language and all that kind of stuff, because I mean, like, syntax isn't intelligence. Like, what you say, like, you could be the dumbest person in the world and still have a good vocabulary, right? Um, I mean, look at a lot of politicians. Um, so for me, like, my baseline is like, if I can understand what you're saying and get the general gist of what you're saying, then that's good enough for me. Like, if I can understand what you're saying, then we're good. We're good. Exactly. Language is constantly evolved. It's like anything else. Okay. That backpack's looking good. Now we just have to move on to the person. I'm just gonna stretch real quick. Found out today that Dikembe Mutombo died. Uh, it's too bad. He was one of the figures from my youth watching basketball that I was always entranced by. Oh, apparently at some point we dropped 308 frames. Got to do better, man. Unacceptable. All right. Come back to the computer and Twitch is frozen. Oh no. Oh no. I hate it when that happens. All right. Now, I want to start on this guy's stuff. Where do I want to start? I think it might be better to work from top down. How am I supposed to double watch if not all my devices are working correctly? It's a very good question. It's a very good question, huh? I think it'd be a good idea to start from the top and move down. Like this playlist as much. We're gonna move on to Cozy Winter. Start from the beginning. There we go. All right. So up here is just a lot of dark, which makes sense. Yeah, yeah. It's funny. I forgot that he was battling cancer until I found out that he died today. Because I remember it was announced like 2 years ago, and then I just completely forgot. Which I mean makes sense. I mean, it's not like Dikembe Mutombo was like a family friend or anything like that. Or someone who like I caught up with all the time. You know, but still, I was kind of taken aback. But that's the thing. It's kind of funny. Well, it's not funny, haha, but it's just like an observation that I've made as I've gotten older. Is like, a lot of people that we grew up watching, or whether it was a sport or TV show, like a lot of them are getting older just like us, and then they all start passing away, and it's this is going to be kind of a because of kitchening. Oh, Dikembe Mutombo, retired basketball player, who was known for his blocking ability. He would do a finger wag after he blocked somebody in the NBA, and was known for he was known for doing a lot of outreach in his native country. Which country that is, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's African country, um, but did a lot of outreach there. And was basically present for just about every single basketball event that there could be. Because thank you. Yes. Um, because he was a big ambassador for the sport. Um, and he was on a episode of like the celebrity mean tweets or whatever, where someone said that as far as mean tweets go, you could get a lot meaner, but it's like um, if the tweet was something like um, if anything ever happened to the guy who does the voice for Cookie Monster, I can sleep well knowing that we have Dikembe Mutombo as a backup, because he did kind of sound like Cookie Monster a little bit. But yeah, he had brain cancer. Um, I'm gonna tell a story here that's a little morbid, but it goes along with the whole like, just losing people that we grew up watching and all that, and how it all kind of comes to a head. It was a very very surreal morning. It was an awful morning, but it was about, I would say, like 5 o'clock in the morning. Uh, at this point, my mom had about a week left, um, maybe 2 weeks left. She was at home, and my dad was downstairs, and he was trying to help her, and like he was spent. He just wanted some sleep. Um, so I was helping my mom out. Um, and then my dad made the decision to call an ambulance, um, because my mom needed to go to the hospital. Uh, and he called the ambulance. Right after that, he gets a call, and I hear him talking, but I'm not really paying attention because I'm seeing on the TV screen that David Bowie died. And I'm like, wow. Because at the time, there's another person that I didn't realize was sick, right? David Bowie died. And then my dad comes in the room and he's like, "You're not going to believe this. Your Aunt Greta died." And I was like, hold on. You want to talk about like a whiplash moment? It, that was that was something else. That was something else. Oh, hey, Crystal. Oh, your grandfather died that night too? Well, I'm very sorry for your loss, but yeah, that's uncanny. Yeah, it's wild. It's absolutely wild. But hello. Hey, no, nobody ever needs to apologize for lurking here. You know, it is all good. We stand lurkers. It's all good. I hope you've been well. And in honor of you having been lurking, I always feel like somebody's watching me. Yeah, that was a crazy morning. One of the memories that just sticks with you, you know. But if I had the opportunity to wipe that whole experience with like my mom being sick and all that, like that whole episode, those whole 3 months, if I had the opportunity to wipe those memories away, I wouldn't. I'm actually very glad that I went through that experience and got through it, you know. um because, and this is going to sound a little weird, but a big reason for that is I used to be a very insecure person. um I had a lot of anxiety around like a lot of like very mundane, well, things that would be mundane for a lot of people, right? I would worry about it, you know. I had tons of that. um and then it was like my mom dying flipped a switch. Let me angle this a little bit more this way if I can. But yeah, it's like it flipped a switch, um where I realized that a lot of the stuff that I worried about just it didn't matter, you know. And it's unfortunate that it happened through trauma, but thanks to those events, like I don't worry about a lot of the stuff that I used to worry about. Because I didn't need to. I didn't need to. Like it didn't. The stuff that I would worry, it didn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Um, Now that's just my experience, right? Um, and I would say that it's probably indicative that I didn't have any sort of like anxiety disorder, um, per se, because like you can't just turn off disorders like that. But you know, it's one of those things where I was just like, what am I worried about this for? What am I stressed about this for? Like, I just went through the worst thing I could possibly imagine, and I I made it through that. Why why am I worried about this thing being a little bit late? You know? So it kind of helped change my perspective, and as a result, like I like who I am a lot more now. You know? Like why am I gonna worry about what this thing looks like on me? You know, and I'm gonna buy the stuff that I want. I wish I'd gotten some profound realization from that whole experience, but 2016 as a whole was just the worst for me personally. I mean, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. And yeah, like my experience definitely is not the norm. And sometimes there's nothing profound to take out of grief and loss. Sometimes it just sucks. And there's no lessons to be had. There's no epiphanies. It just sucks. Because like later in 2016, I lost my maternal grandfather. Well, like 11 of the 12 months were shitty. One of those months I got my breast reduction. That was a big win. Ah, fair, fair, very cool, very cool. Dinner's here, so I got to run. Hey, Elle, thank you very much for sticking around. I hope dinner's tasty, and thank you for your help earlier, and thank you for your patronage and your friendship and just being a cool person. Thank you very much, and of course because you're lurking. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you, Elle, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night. Oh, your mom died that June. Ah, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, the 2016 was a year for me too. In that, like, it was weird because like I lost my mom, I lost my grandfather, in November. Sing for me, my angel of music. Take it easy, yeah. Um, but I did move up to the GTA in in uh in September. So that was much like your breast reduction was for you. That was a big win for me. And actually, that was one of the things that I was kind of like holding off on doing because I was like worried about how it would go. And then like my cousin had already one of my cousins had already said that I could stay with her and all that, and she was just like, whenever you want to come. And I was holding off for some reason. And I think part of that reason, obviously I didn't know, but thankfully, like I was around to help my mom and help my dad with caring for my mom while she was going through all that. Um, and then when she died, because she died in January, um, January 30th, and then I was just sort of sitting around, and then finally was like, no, I need to make a move. I need to do something. So I finally just came up here without a job, without anything, and was like, okay, I'm gonna make it work. And thankfully for me, it did work out. It doesn't work that way for everyone. I got very lucky that I was able to find a job and kind of make my way, and then eventually met my wife. You know, wouldn't have met my wife if I didn't move up here. So that was a gigantic win. But yeah, rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo. Because I think that's how we got started on this whole topic. All right, so now we'll start shading this in. Also, anybody who doesn't particularly like morbid talk, I'm sorry because that went a little dark there, but I think it's important to talk about it every once and again. You know, it's one of them things. Like Sufjan Stevens said, we're all gonna die. It's nice to talk about it without the hushed tone sometimes. Well, it's funny because that was the whole point to my previous solo show, the quiet part out loud, because sometimes you have to say the quiet part out loud where like grief sucks, and we all go through it, and we should talk about it more instead of suffering in silence. And how complicated grief can be, because you think you're done grieving, and then you wake up on, in my case, January 30th, and you forget that it's the anniversary of your mom's death because that it's been a while. And you're just kind of going through your day, and then you see your sister make a post on Facebook commemorating the death, and then you're like, oh shit, yeah, that was today. And then you feel like absolute garbage because you're like, how could I possibly forget that? And then the grief just comes rolling back in again. And that's like, however many years after, like 5 or 6 years after the fact. No one talks about that, but it needs to be said. It needs to be talked about. That's what I love about doing these streams. I never I never know where the discussion is going to go. Oh, that happened to you this year? Yeah, yeah, knocked you on your ass. For me, it was last year. For me, it was last year. I was just going about my day and then completely forgetting what day it was. Then it makes you feel like crap because it's like, well, it feels like you're forgetting your loved one, even though, of course, that's not the case, you know? Yeah. On a brighter note, one year I forgot that it was my birthday. uh, that's a funnier story. I just moved up here. Well, not just moved up here, but I had moved in. It was the year that I moved into my apartment. So like 2017, it was the year. Well, I met my wife in 2017 technically, but we didn't start dating until 2018. Really. Um, yeah. Um, wait, is that right? Is that right? Because we met in December of 2017. It wouldn't have been December of 2016 because I had just started it at Sport Check like 2 months before. Yeah, so 2017. So we just met. Um, if you asked me the exact date that she died, I couldn't tell you. I've just kind of blocked out the number. That's fair. That's fair. I just try to celebrate her birthday instead. There you go. There you go. I think that's a healthy way to do it. Sure. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, it was 2017, my birthday 2017. I had a crazy busy night at work and I got up because I had to open that day. So I go into work and then, I get home and I got to go to the laundromat. And then for whatever reason, I had my phone on Do Not Disturb that day. Uh, I think I had just forgotten to turn it back on when I got up in the morning because I really didn't want to be bothered by anybody when I fell asleep. So, so I forgot to turn it back on, and then I get home after after getting home from the laundromat, and I open up Facebook and I see all these birthday messages, and I'm like, oh right, it's my birthday today. I'm 27 today. Right. So then I went out and got myself just a cake from like Sobeys or something like that. All right, there we go. There's that dude's hat done. Okay. I guess we'll get started on the rest of the shirt. We'll start over here, and right now I'm just gonna kind of landmark all the shadows and stuff. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Just got a few markings here. Like I said, I'm just kind of landmarking where the shadows and creases are so that I have kind of a roadmap where to come back in with the blending stump afterwards. Here near the collar, gonna be a little thing there. I feel like one of these years I gotta set up a thing where you guys can actually see the reference photo that I took that I'm working off of. I also saw a an interesting thing on Threads. I'm sure it was just rage bait or something like that, or I don't know. Maybe the person was trying to engage like actual thoughtful discussion, but they were asking if working from references was cheating when it comes to art. Uh, the overwhelming consensus was no, no, it wasn't, which I agree with. Because like you're just supposed to remember what everything looks like all the time and just work from memory. Like no, no, that's not how that works. But then someone made the argument that they, well, not made the argument, but they said that like someone that they went to school with uh, did a lot of abstract stuff and felt that working from reference or working from life and everything was like not cheating, but it was kind of doing like easy mode. It's like, okay, sure. And I think if I remember correctly, oh, I completely lost that train of thought. Hell no. Yeah. See, Crystal, I agree. I agree. Oh, this is what the point they were making. Rendering is still a really impressive skill to have. Yeah, I agree. And I think the argument too was like for some reason the person that they were talking to at the art school who did all the abstracts in their mind working from life or working from a reference was akin to like tracing, and it's like it's not like they're tracing the image, they're working from it, they're getting lighting reference, they're doing all that kind of stuff. It's not like they're just directly tracing the image onto the page. And if they were, like, who cares? Like, as long as they weren't like stealing another person's work, you know, like that's a whole nother discussion. Like that's what the whole AI discussion is about, right? Because that is just taking other people's work. Yeah, exactly. It's gatekeeping. I've never understood for the life of me gatekeeping. Like I have tried my whole life to try and get people into the stuff that I'm into, try to convince them that hey, this is something worthwhile, not trying to keep them out of it, you know. Gatekeeping just does not make any logical sense to me whatsoever. But I guess there's not much logical sense to it, is there? It's my father-in-law. Yeah, it seems counterproductive. My father-in-law, during our wedding, because my wife and I built our wedding playlist, right? That way we could just click play and then we just could party the rest of the night. There's a song by the Commodores that came on called Machine Gun, and he had never, my father-in-law had never heard this song, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Man, this is an awesome song," and I'm like, "I know, right? Like, all people always sleeping on this song and the Commodores in general." Um, but what was I gonna do? Like gatekeep and be like, "Well, actually, I like this song long before anybody else did," you know? Like you need to catch up. You don't just get to like this song because you just heard it now. If you want your special interest to thrive, you need it to be popular. Exactly. If not popular, at least visible. At least like discussed and all that. Like you can't just keep it in the dark. Some people I just don't understand their mindsets. You know, it's like it's akin to the people who like you know are like life was so difficult for me. I want it to be difficult for everyone else. It's like I thought the whole point was to make life easier for future generations. Like you want them to not have to struggle like you did. But then there's a number of people that are like, no, no, I want them to struggle. I had to struggle, so you should struggle too. And it's like that doesn't seem like the way forward. I don't know. People are funny. They do funny things. I am the last thing from a gatekeeper. Like if you ask me about something that I'm interested in, it's like, get ready, dude. Like you're about to get a whole dossier on this thing. Like my bad, but you're gonna get a lecture on all the things that I love about this thing and why you should too. Soul's TED Talk, exactly. My brother-in-law once asked me for like a whole bunch of like for a playlist and make him playlists on Spotify because he had a long commute. Like he was gonna have a long commute to work because he just switched jobs and he's like, I need some playlists. And I'm like, oh, I will give you some playlists. And there was like there was TJ's up tempo R&B goodies parts 1, 2, and 3. Part 3 was mostly Stevie Wonder because I did it in alphabetical order. Uh, there was TJ's mid tempo jams that make me feel some type of way. There was uh, oh, you didn't think TJ was into rock music, did you? But here you go. You know, all sorts of stuff. There was hip hop songs of all kinds, uh, hip hop goodies of all times, all sorts of like all kinds of stuff, and all of those playlists were like hours long. You know, and it was really cool because like at the end of one of them he was like for instance the Earth Wind and Fire song Fantasy, he was like, I've never really heard a song like that before, and I was like, I to this date have never heard an R&B song that sounds like Earth Wind and Fire's Fantasy. It was like a one-off. Not even Earth, Wind, and Fire did another song that sounded like fantasy. You know, it's all this stuff that you just discover, and I want to share with people. Which is why streaming has been kind of good because now I can get all this kind of stuff like out and off my chest, and I can subject you all to it, all my thoughts and whatnot. Which you all might have different feelings about it. Like, man, I wish this dude would shut up. But it's a joyous thing to be able to share your interests with other people, you know? And why would you want to take that away? Out of like some misguided attempt to police your interests. Runs to YouTube. Like I had a dude the other day, listening now, be right back. Hey, no worries, no worries. I do the other day. We were coming out of the mall, and he saw my Padres hat, and he's like, "Hey, congratulations, they made the playoffs." And I was like, "Oh yeah, they did." And he's like, "Unless you're not a like an actual fan." And I'm like, "No, I'm an I'm a fan of theirs." He's like, "Okay, good, good." But then I got thinking afterwards, like, what does it matter whether I was a fan of the Padres or not? Like, what if I just liked the hat? You know, that's fine. That's fine. You don't have to gatekeep that. I mean, there is a little bit of sadness if I saw someone else in a Padres hat and I wanted to talk to them about the team, but they only got it for a fact. Like, there's a little bit of like sadness, I guess, in that. Oh, I can't like discuss the team like I wanted to with you, but that doesn't mean that I can't introduce them to it. And if they just want it because they like the look of the hat, then hey, that's perfectly fine. I'm not saying that guy was like saying anything wrong or anything, but it was just like, well, what if I did just like the hat for the looks, as a fashion statement? I think that's okay. I wouldn't get a baseball cap just for a fashion statement, just because it opens up the ability for people to want to talk to you about that team, and then you have to constantly be like, "Oh no, I'm not actually a fan. I just like the hat," and that's just a conversation that I wouldn't want to have over and over. But people are unbothered by stuff like that, so it looks pretty good. Not bad at all. I'm just gonna lean back here, just take another break. Actually, we're getting pretty close to the end of stream. Well, I'm just kind of surveying here, seeing what, if anything, needs some work, what I need to add, all that kind of stuff. But I really don't think I need to do too much. Oh, my wife's heading home from physio. Her shoulder's been feeling a lot better lately, which I'm very, very happy about. Because her shoulder's been bothering her for a good long while now. And it's finally she steered a whole dragon boat practice the other day. 18 people in the boat, and her shoulder didn't hurt. And I was thrilled with that. You know? Because it's been a long, long time. Oops. Earthquake. Not actually an earthquake, I just bumped my stand. So I think what I'll do right now is I'll just start putting in a few more landmarks. Got one here. And there's a bunch of wrinkles down here. Coming up in here. Oh. And we're doing one up here. And we're just kind of mapping out. Hey, welcome back, Elle. How was dinner? Hope it was tasty. Hey, welcome back, Crystal. It was fine. I cleaned the kitchen and roommate was like, I want takeout. So I didn't end up cooking. Ah, fair. Fair. We've had moments like that. Hopefully the takeout wasn't too bad. That was a very interesting song, almost musical theater in a way. Oh, you mean fantasy? Yeah, yeah. It's a very unique song. Like I said, I'm not sure I've heard any other R&B song quite like it. Yeah, super different from their usual stuff. And yeah, now that you say it, it is very theatrical compared to their usual stuff. It's my second favorite Earth, Wind, and Fire song, right after "Turn It Into Something Good." All right, I think because I'm not quite sure how I want this to shape up yet, but we're close enough to the end of stream that I think I'm just gonna leave it there for now. So let me just wind down here. Um, what am I doing? That's what I'm doing. Um, Sorry, I I got sidetracked on my computer. All right, this is what I'm doing. Thank you everybody for coming in today. Really appreciate seeing all y'all. Really appreciate all the discussion. I appreciate all the lurkers. Got to go through some thank yous here. Thank you, Rain, for the glug glug. Really do appreciate it. I'm gonna take another one actually. Oh, always good to see you too, Crystal. Thank you. Hey, no problem, no problem, Squid. Thank you. Um, but yeah, thank you, Rain, for the glug glug. Fish bath, thank you again very much for the subscription. I really do appreciate it. Y'all didn't have to do that. Y'all don't have to be here, and yet you're here hanging out with me, and it's very much appreciated. Um, Thank you all for coming in. Thank you for stream. Thank you for stream out. All right, let's see who's doing what. Oh, you know what? 8-Bit is on. I haven't seen 8-Bit in a minute. We're gonna go say hi to 8-Bit Blues. 'Cause I haven't seen 8-Bit in a hot minute. I can say that tomorrow. Fair, fair. Um, Let me just set up this raid here. 8-Bit Blues. Here we go. But yeah, thank you all for coming in. Tomorrow, same time as today, 6 p.m. Eastern. We're probably going to do more art because I'm still not where I need to be in Paper Mario. I promise we'll do Paper Mario next week on Tuesday. But tomorrow we'll probably do some more art unless I like stay up crazy late tonight and get to where I need to in Paper Mario. But you can check out Blue Sky and Twitter. I'll let you all know what we're doing tomorrow about an hour before stream, and hopefully we'll get to see y'all tomorrow. And yeah, this is coming together. I like how this is going. But yeah, great to see everybody. Thank y'all for coming in, and hopefully y'all have a fantastic rest of your night. And let's go say hi to 8-Bit. All right. Thank you, Crystal. You too. Take it easy, everybody.